Hey, what is up, friends? It is your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Barboza, coming to you with the main card action going on right now. We're still talking about the Buckley fucking kick. I can't get that out of my brain. Let's do some housekeeping. Hey, what's up, friends? Over on Instagram, we're watching the main card of UFC Fight Island 5. That's right, 5. I will be giving you guys play-by-play, answering your questions, essentially doing all that I can to keep you updated throughout this evening. I am, again, your friendly neighborhood BJJ podcaster, Rafa Barboza. I host Verbal Tap and the Grappling Hour podcast. Could not be happier to be spending this evening with you. What's up to my good friend Mike Frosto? I'm very excited for your computer. I'm very excited to hopefully get a better computer than you. I don't think it's going to be this one, though. Anyway, holy shit, keep talking about the Buckley fight. But for right now, we've got Zalal and Topuria in the black trunks, Zalal in the reddish burgundy trunks right now, circling around. Jesus Christ, what a fucking night, man. Looking at that knockout over and over again is going to be something that I highly encourage you guys to do. If you're not doing it enough, go watch it 5 more times. They finally put it on ESPN. Could not be more proud or excited to have fight footage like that. A little housekeeping right now to go ahead and tell you guys what we're doing this evening. This evening, I am drinking Charisma Check, a West Coast IPA, and it has been delicious thus far in. We do a toast to all the fighters that get finishes. Yes, we did one for Buckley. We also did one for Tom Breeze a little bit earlier, and based on some of the output right now, we could be seeing one in this fight happening in a few minutes. I have 342 left to go on my count right now. Hopefully, you're somewhere in that region, given your internet connection. I don't know exactly what cable providers that you have, but hopefully we could get together and watch this as a nice little community. Ooh, very nice. Topuria is putting together a few nice combinations, whiffs a couple times very slightly, but he is continuously pressing forward on the motion for Zalal. Zalal sliding out, putting his back more towards the cage over on this side, and it does look like Topuria is very much stalking him down throughout this fight thus far in. So yes, you have Yusuf Zalal in the red trunks and Ilia Topuria in the black trunks. My thanks to everybody who is tuning in. If you give us a like and a share on Facebook, we will give you a toast, just like we do those individuals who get fight finishes. That's talking submissions, and we're talking knockouts within the evening. I'm also here to take your questions as the night is going on. For example, if you threw the question at me, Raf, how did Buckley do that? And look at that beautiful, nice throw, toss, suplex over on that side. As you do see very quickly, one Ilya get to mount almost effortlessly. Most people have to signpost that a little bit more, but it was a beautiful throw that now is going to give him some time. It's 2:20 left to go in this first round, and you are seeing him start to maybe signal. Maybe he can take the back here, but he looks very content getting the under control. I think he might be in on a rear naked choke here. He's going to give that up, maybe start working off of the truck. If this motherfucker's going to hit a twister right now, it will be the second craziest thing that we've seen this evening, if we're being so honest. Just wanted to make sure that we are letting you guys know there is a pecking order in this evening's knockout. So everybody else who gets one, it better be the best fucking thing we've seen ever in MMA, because tonight it is a hard night to beat. So if you guys give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast just like we do the fighters. Always want to make sure that we remember to appreciate the people who appreciate us. It means a lot to us, you guys. And so very nicely over on this side, we are seeing Ilya try to work just not really a particular submission other than maybe trying to get over on a little bit of an anaconda choke that just does not look like it's switching over to maybe a little bit more of a darce. Maybe now going to switch back on over to a guillotine. However, his positioning on the cage is a little off, so he's probably going to have to reset here, see if maybe he can try and unleash. He is on a guillotine now. There is 1:03 left to go, and Topuria is trying to use the cage. He's not necessarily getting his foot in between the cages, and this squeeze is starting to look a little bit more valid as you are seeing him scramble a little bit more. His legs are still. Now there's a switch on the grip. The choke is getting it a little bit tighter over on this side, and you are seeing Ilya continue to try to make this work. Meanwhile, Zalal is just struggling in this position, but he's still somehow alive, and he does break the grip just enough to keep some more air. However, Ilya is right back on top of him, goes over, cannot get the second hook in, but instead maybe just trying to use it as a truck roll. This motherfucker's going to hit a truck roll right now? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Now we see them standing back up with 14 seconds. There's not going to be left much time for anything significant to happen, but you will see that at the very least, Ilya is going to make the initial statement that is the most important thus far in, as he still tries to get the takedown within the last seconds. They hit the buzzer, and that gives us some time to reset everybody. We've felt some things today. We've experienced some things. First of all, let's give due credit to the people that we've seen before us. We have seen Chris Daukaus make his way from being an underdog to getting a savage knockout on Rodrigo Nascimento, who, by the way, yes, our betting guy, Dan Hubler, did say put some money on Nascimento. Oopsie daisy. That happens. But Dan was 100% correct in saying that Tom Breeze had not enough respect on his name. So if you did bet on him and you did take Dan's advice, you did make a little bit of money. We did, however, not make a ton of money off of losing off of Ali Akisi, but we're just going to get over that one because the real money of the night was one Joaquin Buckley. And yes, if you hear me talk about it 9 more times tonight, it still won't be enough. I was literally just cutting the commercial that I'll put up on this. I think we'll put that up tomorrow because I'd like to say that I held my ground as a broadcaster and I reported the things in a very objective light. But yo, I was fucking hyped too. That was some crazy ass shit. We go to the second round right now, and right at this moment, I see 4:50 on my clock. Hopefully, that is about yours as well. Just to remind you, you've got Yusuf in the red trunks and Ilya in the darker trunks, which almost kind of look red, or maybe I'm losing my eyesight or my ability to determine color. But yes, Zalal is in the more pronounced reddish shorts, whereas Tupurias are just darker. Let's just say that's what they are. My thanks to everybody who's joining us on all of the different places. My thanks over to Luke Perkins. Thank you so much for joining us along. We're also watching with folks who are on Facebook, YouTube, and on the Periscopes. So we are more than happy to take your questions, comments. We'll look at this. Valerie Worthington, the esteemed Valerie Worthington, one of the best writers in all of the jiu-jittery land. Could not be happier to have you join us. Hope everything is good for you and that you are staying safe in these crazy and uncertain times. Also, just a hell of a human being. She's really awesome. So, hope she is doing very well. What is up, Dago OG? Or is that Dagoog? That's a weird name to say, bro. Wish I had a better version of it. Very quickly, Zalal is trying to make up for lost time here, working on a takedown. He's trying to cup back underneath both legs. Nothing doing here, but he is pressing Ilya against the cage. A referee is immediately telling him to watch where those elbows are going with his back against that cage right now. Nothing too great to report home about, but in that moment, he did get a split second. You will see Ilya get a very good knee, and yes, one of these elbows did seem to stagger a little bit of Ilya, of his opponent. I'm sorry, Yusuf. So now he's in on a more traditional single leg, still pressing him up against the cage. You do see on this particular area, Ilya has a little bit more trouble. It does look like the corner for Zalal made a little bit better of a decision of putting the pressure on him against that cage, and that was a smart idea. Dagoog, did I get it right? Is it close? You can let me know. I'm not apt to being one of those guys who doesn't take criticism well. But if you say something mean about me, I will fucking destroy you. Just kidding. I can't promise you that. I'll just make fun of you a lot. Continuing on. Nice exchange by both gentlemen in the middle of the octagon as they start to return back over to familiar territory on the south side of the octagon. Pushing them up corner right there. Now I think we're back into the striking portion. However, Ilya comes in, gets a takedown again here of his own, and you do see one Yusuf trying to get a guillotine here because that seemed to be the play for Ilya in that original first round, almost going to like a little bit of 100%. However, Ilya not really falling for it, continuing to pass on Yusuf. Now he's starting to interrupt this passing with maybe a triangle attempt from Zalal that just gets stuffed, and now he is in a half guard, raining down on a couple punches. He's going to return with a Guillotine of his own. Again, we've seen him take it from loose to locked in a very short amount of time. So I think this is just a pressure position that is not feeling especially great, as you do see Zalal just making the adjustments that he needs to, which just keep him at bay at this moment. Now with an overhook up top for Ilya, he's going to continue again to try with this guillotine attempt. He starts flattening out his body a little bit more, but he does still have one leg trapped in a half guard that is now going night-night. That's not great. The referee is checking in on this choke. He has one of the arms trapped and may be able to transfer over into a triangle here. Does not take that opportunity. Continues. It says Dago like Dago. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Sorry. It's numerically spelled, so it does take a moment to go and compute it. If you're a robot, and sometimes people think I am, it is confusing. So my apologies to you on that one. Either way, yikes. And you see Zalal starting to work to take the back. He is pushing him up against the cage. He is going to start to try and sag down. There's 29 seconds. That's not going to be enough time at this particular juncture, but you will see Topuria with 4 submission attempts, which is kind of batshit insane. Now Zalal is back underneath, has a foot, could maybe fuck with that foot for a heel hook. That's the beautiful thing about seeing the game evolve a little bit more. We are seeing a lot of these guys try for leg attacks. And as you see, Ilya just kind of signaled to the ref, I'm fine. He's trying to fuck with my foot. I'm not that worried about it. And that'll end the second round, everybody. Good Lord. Yeah, bro. What do you guys think of these rounds so far? If I am narrating it for you, please let me know so that way I can concentrate more on that. If a lot of you are watching along, I'm more than happy to do jokes about it, but I just try to ride the wave. If you guys are very much into the play-by-play, I do a little bit of that. But if you also need somebody to make things a little bit more lighthearted, maybe scream yell how much they liked Joaquin Buckley's fucking sick knockout, happy to serve whatever role you need. That's what I'm here for. I'm your Huckleberry, I guess is what I'm trying to tell both you and you folks over here who are watching and participating along with us this evening. So that's what I got for you guys. Thank you so much for the hearts. It means so much to us. It makes us feel like we're loved. I have to say, when they really did come up with like all these different, laugh emoji, cry emoji, all these different things, when they got to the hearts, I was like, honestly, that's all artists ever want. Just fucking love our work, you dicks. So makes it super easy for us to go ahead and get our ego checked. Oh, very nice. It was like a timed knee that Ilya, while shooting in, just kind of ate. And then for funsies, now Ilya is just going straight back to trying to pass. Underneath, Zalal, though, is working for like a little bit of a Kimura here from underneath. What is up, Bree? Hope you're doing well. He's trying to go underneath. If it's smart, you will see up top Zalal maybe in trouble here. Reverse of position. This is not a great moment. This dude is super good in the truck. Jesus Christ, man. But you do see Zalal trying to sit upright, make his balance a little bit harder to move here. This is always very interesting to watch somebody who works so good in the truck. There aren't a ton of people who do that. What's up, Sarah? Hope you're having a great day. We're watching some UFC Fight Island 5. If you're watching along, dope. If you're not, no big. I'm here to narrate it for you. That's kind of my job. No one told me I had to do it, but I thought to myself, I better. Appreciate you and Bree for being here, as well as Joe. What's up, Joe? Hope you're having a great day. So we're seeing right now at this particular juncture, there's 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this third round. You are seeing Zalal push up Topuria up against the wall, but Ilya has been very, very, very dominant throughout most of this match, in my opinion, but it is close. Bree, just moved to San Diego. I'm in line at the store trying to hurry back to watch the fights. Well, Bree, we miss you up here in the southern region, the middle region of Southern California. But if you move to San Diego, I know that means big things are coming. So obviously, always hoping great things for you. And here's the good news about our community here in Southern California. We always see each other. So I'm sure it's just a matter of time before we cross paths all the sooner. But That's awesome. So happy for you. That's dope. Let me tell you this right now. We are back in guard. So Zalal has Ilya in his guard. He is working. It's a little bit loose. You're seeing Ilya keep a very, very low posture here. He's been very good at passing. And this is a kind of passing that I particularly like a lot, where you just kind of put pressure down on one of the legs. But he just makes me look like garbage in the way I'm seeing him do it. It's awesome. Come train sometime, bro. It's sick down here. I actually was planning to. I was planning to make a little visit down that way, but now I have all the more reason to, now that I know this. It's very funny because, I think one of the things that we're going to be doing a little bit more and more is we're going to make some visits to some gyms and, try and make sure everybody's doing okay. And a lot of gyms that did have to close, it didn't mean that they just didn't lose money. So we want to try and make sure that people are aware of the different places they can go train and cool little hidden spots. So we're definitely going to do some journeys around the places. Though I will tell you on this right now, Ilya is in on a rear naked choke that is looking better by the second. Zalal is just out of it, but not out of the entire danger element of the move. He does spin back into one Ilya's guard. Ilya is looking tired. Zalal tries for a strike to go ahead and maybe even things out, but I do think Ilya has been exhausted from his movement down that way. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Ilya needs to stay alive, because I would assume this fight is too close for him to just let one Zalal Youssef just back into the fight. He is up against the cage, presses back off. He's trying to make some distance, and you are seeing Zalal trying to cut in the distance on this point. I do not like the way that Ilya's movement looks right now. He looks a little dangered, and he's trying for a takedown. Maybe it's a little bit of a fake out. If it did look like that, he did fake me out there. What's up, Bryce? Hope you're doing well, bro. We're now coming up on the last 30 seconds of this fight, and right now it is getting close. You are seeing Zalal fending off this pressure on the cage. I actually kind of like this for Ilya, especially when, Ilya gets in a nice hook over on that side on the face. Zalal, who continues just marching him down, tries in for a jumping knee and gets a takedown for his efforts. There's 10 seconds here. I believe we have seen the best that we were going to see out of this fight in just 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We will see a result in about a minute's time. So we take a moment to say hello to some friends. Bryce just visited us right now. Appreciate you as well, bro. Hope you're doing well. Hope your training's good, but not that good, because I still would like to beat you up. And if it's too good, it gets a little dicey, So I'm really I'm all about you being at a certain level of good. That's what I wish. It's like they always tell you, they go, you should always wish well for your friends. And I go, I do. But in jiu-jitsu, it's a little different. I want you to be at my level and never really above it. So that's all. Hope you're doing great, bud. I'm going to give this a share over on the Verbal Tap page, so that way people who are watching along with us can chime in with questions, comments, concerns, hints, and allegations. And as a reminder here, folks, if you give us a like and a share on Facebook or a subscription on the YouTube, we will give you a shout out. We will give a toast just like those fighters who get finishes within regulation. Join in as we watch UFC Fight Island 5. Bam. All right, fam. They are back at the cage right now, which means we are about to get you a fight result in just a moment here. So sit tight as we just overhear some stuff in there. Oh, that's the nicest note. God damn it. Bree's the best. I just want to say that on this camera, so that way people know for sure. They have zoomed in on Zalal. 29-28 for unanimous decision winner. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ilya Topuria, who very much worked his ass off. I was concerned in that third round for that man, though. And Dan Hardy's asking, what does it feel like to get a decision victory for the first time in your life? He got this fight on 8 days' notice. He has an MMA record of 9-0. Dan is now asking, did it feel weird that he finished, or he was able to fend off all of your submissions? My apologies on the wording. So you're in the UFC now, my friend. What's the future look like for you? Dan Hardy asks, what does the future look like? Okay, he's just basically saying he's going to wait on the call, and then when that happens, he will get back. So, what's up, Jason? Hope you're doing well, bro. Not too well. I already mentioned this with somebody else. How's your knee? Is it okay? I hope it's not too hurt for somebody to do something to that knee. That would be terrible if somebody were to take advantage of that knee. Right? Jason? Hope you're well. Enjoying the evening. Hopefully everybody is. Appreciate you guys watching over on the Facebook. If you're just joining us right now, we're in the middle of some stuff, transitioning in between. All right, we've got some notes here. It says, Raph, like your play-by-play. Thank you very much, Joffrey. And earlier it says this is a good grappling exchange. It was an absolute grappling exchange. That was amazing. UNA 110. Yes, I'm sorry we didn't get to this earlier. I'm just seeing these comments now. That was the Tapuria fight right there, and he did win. So hopefully you were able to gather that throughout the evening. Another share. Look at you, Christopher James Velez. We're going to go ahead and give you a cheers in just a moment. I like this. Your use of descriptive language continuously improves. I appreciate you taking your time doing these. Absolutely. And it just says right here, Ilya Tapuria will strength emojis. I don't really flex that much, so it's always kind of weird when I do it. I'll be like, oh, flex on them, bro. I've told people on these shows, if you see me flexing, it is usually facetious in nature. But when I have the emoji there, I'm supposed to go ahead and bring that to life. Gabe, thank you so much, though. I appreciate that, man. I just want to stay fresh, stay ready. Grappling is so much easier to commentate because you can tell the story, and it is something that we do every single day. MMA, you have to stay very fresh. And if you don't have a co-pilot on it, then you aren't setting them up. So you're both color and a little bit of play-by-play at the exact same times, and also trying to be entertaining. So it's a little bit of everything in one. So thank you. Your acknowledgement of the continuation that we make in progress is very, very much appreciated. What's up, Susie? It's Sue. It's hard to really get a vibe as to how to say that one right, because you get the Susie and then Itsu. So is it Susie Itsu? I'm just going to guess that. But yes, so much appreciate there. Well, Christopher James Velez, if you gave us a share, that means unlike those losers, just kidding, we like them. They just had a decision. We are going to give you a toast on air. This toast goes on out to Christopher James Velez. Little hidden fact, Christopher James Velez is the very first Intercontinental WWE BJJ champion. The only thing is we just haven't acknowledged it. Just because, like, you know, he's gotta come out and one of these days train with us. So cheers to you, bro. I hope everything's going great, man. Miss you. Always appreciate your comments. You are one of the best fans that we know. We just got mad love for you, sir. So cheers. And you mentioned that this is the second share, so we may have to give you another toast in a few minutes. We'll see what mood I'm in. We've also got shares from Adam Woods, so we'll take care of that one in a few moments as well. My appreciation to all of you who tune in and give us some love. What is up, Ricardo? Dunce? I don't know how to pronounce that one. Took my shot, bro. I love it. Listen, closed mouths do not get fed. That is something that we continue to say week in and week out, and it is never untrue. Ricardo, you watching along with us on the fight night right now? We're watching UFC Fight Island Cinco, and I'm hoping you're watching along, and I'm hoping that you're enjoying it, because so far the fights have been very fun. And I cannot say this enough. This is maybe my 6th time saying this. Joaquin Buckley, he is truly the MVP of tonight. He gets the chef's kiss. He gets all of our appreciation, our love. That dude is beast. So if you haven't seen that one, go out and watch it right now. All right, I'm going to ask you guys who you got in this next fight, which is Tom Aspinall and one Alan Badeau. So I like that you're telling me, Joffrey, that you got Duplessis in the next fight. We'll circle back to that one. But in the meantime, Tom or Alan, tell me in the comment section. I will put it in here so that you guys have the idea who we should go. And then I'm going to ask a question. Shango Dixon says, Aspinall, thank you. Appreciate you. Shango always follows the rules. Some of you guys don't. I'm just going to say. So that's the question on there. Tom Aspinall or Alan Badeau. And Badeau is a weird-ass fucking name. It sounds like a part of the house you show off and be like, oh, have you seen my Badeau? Yes, I take all of my closest confidants out, and we have lunch on the Badeau. It's very nice. You should come every once in a while. So tell me in the comment section, dorks. That's what I want to know. And we've said it a little bit earlier, but I will tell you right now, we are drinking Charisma Check. It is a West Coast IPA. It is delicious. It is 6.7 alcoholic content. It is also 1 point or pint. I'm not drinking, you're drinking. And here's one of my favorite little things on here that they always say is like a design factor. What's up, that Nick Salas? Listen to you. Hold on. Everybody, I want to say a nice little note about Nick. This is how you know true friendship. Nick and my boy Danny go up to compete at Pans this weekend. They somehow get put on the same side of the bracket. Nick gives his spot to his boy and says, go out there, go to that next competition, go to that next round, and bring us home a gold. And wouldn't you know it, Danny comes back in with a win. That is true friendship right there. And he was putting on his Instagram stories. He says, some people won't understand what this is about. A lot of us understand what that's about. And I give you credit. I give Danny credit for that. I think the world of you guys, the Bolo Bros together brought home the gold, and big congratulations to you, sir. So I wanted to give you a shout out right there. And it says, well, as someone who can't see, I am more reliant on the info commentary provided. You are one of those whom do it well. Well, I appreciate that, bro. We always want to do our best to give, just some description. I just feel like some people don't do that well enough or don't even try. A lot of times fight companions are very, very stoic. We try to make it fun but descriptive, and we do our thing. And we're keeping our seat ready for the big dance over at ADCC when we'll be doing another one of these fight companions for that. And that's going to be a huge show that's coming up next year. So my appreciation to you, Gabe. And also, Joffrey is saying you've got Tom Aspinall. The rest of you dorks didn't chime in. So fist right over here because the action has already started. I will not take who you have at this moment because we're already hot in the middle of this heavyweight bout. The big boys are coming in right now, and man, they are already starting with some spinning ass shit. So I want to tell you guys, at 4:36 on my clock, hopefully you are in that realm as well. Both of them exchanging. And you do see at the very beginning of this, Aspinall was looking a little confused, but now he's starting to put the pressure on Badeau. Badeau in the bluish trunks and Aspinall in the red trunks on this one. Aspinall just slowly moving forward. Badeau raised his knee a couple times. As a reminder to myself, I'm going to go and give a cheers over at Adam Woods in a second. That's just my inner monologue speaking. We'll come back to the action right now. 4:04 on the clock, and you do see Badeau starting with a couple swats here. He looked for a hook. Ooh, Aspinall came in, and now he is putting Badeau in pressure. Badeau responds with a clinch and is starting to bring up some knees. Aspinall gets a takedown off of the cage, slowly climbs his way on over to mount, and now is just making life miserable for young Badeau, who is underneath. Legs are probably going to grapevine in just a moment, but he is taking his time here. Nice elbow. Yes, if he keeps covering up like this, you will see a fight stop, and he is being very quick, and he does get the finish right now. Ladies and gents, after being put under some pressure, we are very happy to report that one, Tom Aspinall, the person, oh, that's not the fight we're on. I should have changed that branding. The person that we had very early on by one, Joffrey Waking, saying that he thought he was going to win that fight, is there. Also, Shango. Shango was the first one to go ahead and chime in, so we cannot forget that. Shango and Joffrey, y'all be best. I'm going to write a nice note back to Bree, who wrote me a nice note. You're the best. So happy for you to be down in SD. All right. Well, that was dope. All right. As a reminder, we got a toast to do. We're going to wait for him to get interviewed. We'll do a toast for him. But in the meantime, let's talk about this right now. Yes, indeed, Joffrey. Let's do a toast to Adam Woods. I'm going to take that banner off. That banner. I had the right banner. I just didn't put it up because I was so fucking into my job. I hate when I do that. But, you know, that's what happens. I'll get over it. Let's do a toast. Yeah, let's keep that up. Oh, they were about to do the fight announcement, but I guess they're going to wait for a few seconds. This toast goes on out to one Adam Woods of the Adam Woods podcast, or the According to Woods podcast. Adam, I don't know what to tell you, bro. I'm not going to be doing daily anymore. I've got to go back to my big kid job. But I will tell you this. I hope that you continue with the baton and you run with it as the consistent live programming with fun interviews and amazing talent. I will be cheersing you on even when I cannot tune in live every single day, but I will definitely be in the comment section pretending to work at my work. I wish you all the best, bud. Keep that going. Live events as much as you can. Cheers. So if you haven't heard, yes, Grappling Hour is going to move back to once a week. It's what it should normally be. When we had the pandemic and I didn't have shit to do, that's what I was doing. So in the meantime, if you do get the opportunity to look for another podcast or something that you like, give our friend Adam Woods a look. You know, he's interviewing a lot of fun people and professional wrestlers, which I always give the utmost respect to. So Shango and Joffrey, y'all had the foresight to go ahead and say that you thought that Tom was going to win this one, and you were correct. So let's hear what Hardy has to say in the octagon with him right now. So Hardy is asking him, like, why were you shaking your head, dude? Why were you not pleased? And he just said, you know, I made some mistakes in the very early part of that fight. So, it's that shin kick that just kind of fucked him up right there. And then you could see at that moment, Badeau was just trying to throw up anything with that, like, upward elbow just out of defense when his back was turned. Then once you saw, just the mount happen, that's really where the beginning of the end of this fight was. I want to give some credit to everybody who's stopping in. Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. We're having a blast watching UFC Fight Night Cinco. It is thus far been a very interesting card. I jumped in at about the midway point, if you want to call it that, of the prelims, and that shit was fucking wild. You can write in the comment section who you thought was the dopest part of the beginning one. Boo. I just like yelling at people on the internet while I'm still on air. It shows my versatility to be able to boo people, cheers them, jeers them, etc. But yes, you can tell me what you thought was the best moment of the night thus far in. I'm just going to guess it's the same one I thought was super rad and dope. But if it's not, tell everybody what you enjoyed. So that way I can echo that and put it out there. That it's not just my biased commentary. It's all of our biased commentary together. So Christopher, you shared it earlier, and I can't prove that you did because I don't have record of it. And sometimes there's privacy settings. Sometimes Facebook sucks. But I will do a second cheers to one Christopher James Velez. This cheers goes on out to Christopher James Velez again. Listen, Christopher, I will tell you this right here, right now. You are probably one of our favorite people to see in the comment section of all of our videos. Thank you so much. But having said that, when you don't comment on one of our videos, we judge you. Like real hard. Like Kevin and I will have a meeting. We'll be like, you didn't comment this week. I guess he doesn't like us anymore. Other than that, cheers to you, sir. Much love and appreciation. We're doing some promotional posturing for Khabib versus Justin Gaethje. As a reminder, that is going to be an early-ass fight. An early-ass fight, all things comparatively, because, that fight with Cerrone was so mean. Why would you do that to him? Yes, we will be doing fights earlier that day. I think the card starts at like 2 p.m., the main card then. So I don't know that we're going to do prelims because I try to get some training in before I do these things. As I did today, got beat up. Not only got beat up, but hold up. I want to show you. I'm going to brag on myself for a second. I don't normally do that. But look at this. Look at this whoop scores. Look at that. Bam. Did you just say 11 a.m.? So is that the 11 a.m. for prelims right there? If you wouldn't mind letting me know, as if you work on this show. I like that I'm like, could you go ahead and transcribe that for us? I'm in the middle. For the main card at 11 a.m. No! Fuck! Oh, that's going to be a bitch. I really like training in the morning. And I usually do on Saturdays my heavy day of grappling and boxing. So that's going to fucking suck. Well, thank you, Shango. Whoa, that makes me so angry. I knew I read it one day and I just put it out of my mind, but I thought the main card was going to start at 2 p.m. I could make something like that happen. 11 a.m. is a little more. I guess Raf's not training. Yikes. That's not your fault, Shango. I'm lashing out right now. Early prelims 7:15 and prelims 9 a.m. Fuck off. I'm not doing that shit. Nope. No. Let me see here. 7:15 is normally when I wake up to go train. 8 a.m. is when I normally do some training. Then 9 a.m. Oh, fuck. I guess what we'll do is probably just do a panel. That seems like a good thing. We'll do a panel for the main card at 11. I got so mad by all that. Django, you didn't ruin my night, but you just made me feel like I need to get like more rage about it. This is why Fight Island sucks. And like, fuck you guys, do our fucking time zone. That's a real time zones. And I say that as somebody who doesn't give a shit about East Coast time, which is the worst. All right. I shouldn't complain about fucking time zones all fucking night. This is very, very buff information you're presenting me. So it takes a second to process it like a normal human. I'm grieving. This is what I'm doing. This is how I get my stress out, everybody. Like and a share gives us the opportunity to give you a toast. Do you like the transition there? That's my ability to tell you guys, it's fine. We'll get through this, right? We're not all mad. We're normal people here. See, look, it says on my whoop too. Normally, look, listen. It says on here, that is the time Raph trains. So just so you guys can see it, that time, normally when that shit's going on in 2 weeks. Yeah, early prelims. It says Saturday, 11 a.m. on ESPN Plus. That's such a bitch. So angry. And it's lowercase fucking letters on that shit. It should be uppercase, you dicks. I know it's stylistic choices, but I'm taking out my aggression. I will say it's 6 fights, and Islam Makhachev also does not have an opponent, which is concerning, but you really are paying the majority of the money for Khabib and Justin Gaethje, and I guess maybe passing some money over to Robert Whittaker and Walt Harris on that one. So, depression. Anyway. What? Just like daggers through my fucking heart right now. Anyway, coming up next, we do have an interesting fight in Dricus Duplessis or Pliss. I think Duplessis is good enough. Looks like Duplessis. He's got cool hair though. I'll give him that. Coming up against Marcus Perez is the next fight. So get excited for that. Man, my whole voice. You can hear it in my voice. I hear it in my voice. It's like when, you have a fight with your spouse and they're like, are you guys okay? Like, is everything fine? Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Everything's great. No, we're not mad at each other. No. We get along great. Everything is happening. Oh, okay. So with this, we have 4 more fights for the evening. Don't go anywhere. Don't get uncomfortable. It's a fucking great series of fights that we have left. So, of course, do we do the cheers to Tom Aspinall? I don't think we did. If we did, then I guess I can do it again. All right. Yeah, this cheers goes on out to one Tom Aspinall. Tom, here's the thing, bro. I know you want to be hard on yourself and say you made some mistakes, but you still won. Like, yo, bro, none of us are perfect. I get it. Like, it could have been bad, but it wasn't. So you got the W. Chill on yourself, bro. Enjoy yourself. Go ride the coaster over at Fight Island. Do something nice for yourself, because here we're too busy toasting you to say congrats to you. Big, big success here tonight. Couldn't be happier. Cheers. All right. Took care of that order of business. Give us a like and a share, and you get one of those yourself. And it says, I'm a newlywed, so what time does that happen? Well, I don't know. It starts, definitely when you start having arguments over nothing. Like, the good news about being married is that when you do get into those fights, you do probably finish them by the time you like have dinner. So by the time dinner's done, we're like, well, what do we want to watch tonight? I actually think now, if anything, my wife and I probably fight more about what we're going to have for dinner. And because she's so bad at figuring it out and I'm so amicable to everything, that we argue over it for the time that it would take us to watch like an episode of a drama on TV. And then I always look at her like, this is your fault. And I definitely give her tons of shit about it, because I'm like, you're picky, I'm not. That's as easy as it is. If a person is picky, it is on them to pick. And then they can't use the excuse of, oh, you don't like anything. It's like, I love everything. Put food in front of me, I eat it. Ah, yes, this is the kid. Now that I'm thinking about it, very efficient. Yes, it is. So Marcus Perez is the dude who was wearing the Joker gear, who I don't know what to think about this one. This is confusing because Drickus is keeping composure with his fists up and doesn't move. But do you hate the guy who wears the Joker makeup to the weigh-ins? Or does that make your life a little bit more exciting to watch that? I really can't get a good read on that one. It's confusing. What do you guys feel? Would you get dressed up to go to a weigh-in? Like, would you try to psych out your opponent by being such a performance? I still can't figure out if I would. I also know my face pretty well, so I don't know that I would not have a face that wouldn't react to that happening in real time. So it's definitely a laugh at the clown. Laugh at the clown. Yeah, that's tough, dude, because there are always those studies that say, like, if you laugh at your opponent, you're more likely to lose. So I don't know, man. I hate knowing those things. Like, if I ever win like an Emmy or an Oscar or a Grammy, the first thing you'll probably hear me say on stage is, I wouldn't have bet on me. I'm a compulsive gambler. I would not have bet on me. Oh, look at these. We got some great notes, though. Shango Dixon says, don't hate it, but certainly do not love it at all. Okay, that's fair. And definitely laugh at the clown. Is V that says, do what you got to do to win. Bojada, baby. I like that answer. That's actually is a good answer. Somehow it incorporated both MMA and everyday pojada, which don't always go together, but I guess why not? I feel like pojada is our Baba Booey, where people will say it just at the beginning and ends of sentences where it really has no belonging. I'm not saying you, or I'm just saying in general, people yell out pojada, and it makes me think sometimes when I hear it, I just go, what if I didn't pojada today? Like, I don't I don't really want to talk about it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to bring that shit up. So much os. Yes, lots of os. Jesus. I'm surrounded by people just saying their fucking catchphrase. It's so fucked up. It's so funny. Anyway, all right, kids. Well, keep the things coming on over this way. You know, I love seeing your messages and your notes. Boring. And it says, you can't always Fajada unless you're on the bomba. Well, I'm not. Clearly, I'm not. So I think it's a problem for me. But yes, you bring up a very solid point, which is if there's going to be a correlation between Bojada and Bomba. Oh, I wish I had my fucking notepad here. I would have drawn you out a diagram. That's like, so as you can see, as Bomba goes up, so does Pojada. I might meme that one. I can't promise you I won't, but it might happen. What happens is when I do these shows, I finish, I like eat a little bit, or I chill for a little bit, and I just go to sleep. But man, do I want to do the meme sometimes. And a good idea like this is one where I like go to bed and I go, oh, do the Pojada meme. Dude, tired, must sleep. So if I don't do it, then that's how you know. Or I just got too drunk. It's really honestly like one of those three things. But you know, at least I know it and I just kind of own it. So I appreciate the contributing right that way. You know, somebody asked me a couple weeks ago, and I really started thinking about this again, which was, what would your fight walkout be? What song? And there was a song, and I'm actually drawing a blank on it again. Oh, no, I have it. They said, what would you walk out to if you were a fighter? And I said when I was a kid, I really wanted to walk out to Eminem's Till I Collapse. That's my jam. But now everybody fucking likes that song, and I just don't fucking want to do it if everybody else is doing it. Though it still gets me hype, and I still love it. The song I would walk out to, and I just recently remembered what it was. And it is Queen, Princes of the Universe. Now, I don't know if you remember the movie Highlander, because if you don't, shame on you. But it is that song that screams out, I am immortal, I have inside me blood of kings. Like, that shit is amazing. Like, imagine going into battle and being like, I'm fucking goddamn immortal. Now, granted, if I died in the octagon, probably wouldn't look well for me. I'm pretty sure they would talk about the irony actually in the comment section. But wouldn't be the first time, wouldn't be the last time. So anyway, that was one, and I wanted to make sure we put that on some kind of record because I couldn't believe I couldn't remember what it was. And I ended up spending 2 minutes talking about Eminem. And again, I like that song so much, and I have no issue with it, but it just wasn't the right one. Also, let's give some love to Give Me Shelter. Give Me Shelter by the Stones. That's not a bad one to walk out to, too. But I think that Hodger Gracie was using that one. And it used to get me super hype, but I felt like that's his signature song. I don't see too many other fighters use that one. All right, kids, we're there. Marcus Perez versus Dricus Duplessis or Duplessis. Dricus Duplessis. That's what we're going to call him. I would tell you this. Dricus Duplessis has a weird ass fucking name, dude, but we're going to give him all the respect in the world. And Marcus Perez has a fucking Last of the Mohicans braid. It's like his power braid right now. It's coming in. That's intense, dude. They start off exchanging some kicks, and you do see right now Perez is waiting for his open opportunity. Duplessis kind of making some back steps here. I'm wondering what kind of counter he has because Perez is here to fight, man. Perez wants to put his left in that face. It says, dude, easy. Lindsey Sterling, we are giants, just to throw off my opponent. Yeah, no, I get you. Again, we talked about the idea of it's a small world after all that one of my more nefarious friends said that they would do. And I said, actually, that's not a terrible idea. You just better win. And it says, dude, that hair. Yeah, no shit. All right, it does look like there was a little bit of a cup check right now between the two guys. There was a kick and a little bit of respect between the fighters. It did look like Duplessis did mention over to Perez. They kind of take a moment, acknowledge it, and Perez is right back in. He is setting up his left kick, and you are seeing Duplessis start to try and respond with a few of his own. Nothing doing right yet. And you will see Duplessis kind of started to press forward with a combination that didn't really land anywhere, going right back onto the outside leg kicks on Perez. So nothing there. I just feel like Perez is just trying to absorb some of this so that he can just find his timing to unload on this kid. So like I mentioned earlier, I guess the real question is, what is Dreykus's what is this counter going to look like here? Because I don't see him doing the same. I think he's probably switched stance like 3 or 4 times. Goes with a cross to the midsection, then gets in and gets out very quickly there. That is good to see, though. I do appreciate when people get in and get out very, very quickly. So I will tell you this. I think when people send me shit when I'm on air, like, no, I'm on air. I'll talk to you later. Nice. I mean, here's the good news. Duplessis is still trying to continue on with these kicks on over to the shin and the leg and charges forward a few whiffs, not 1, not 2, but 3. And I'm now starting to get a little concerned on him maybe telegraphing a little bit of his movement too much for Perez, who now has him backed up against the cage. They stop for a split second. And we've seen a couple of up kicks thrown up here as well. I mean, just not even up kicks like they're on the ground, but just very high kicks. That's what they always look like. They look akin to fucking John Cleese, just walking with his silly walks at times. But that's how crazy MMA can be. You can do the craziest shit, and sometimes you're a genius. Like earlier with Joaquin Buckley. Let's keep the action going here. 157 in the first round left to go. And Perez is still very I mean, for a guy who dressed up like the Joker, man, he's at least making it worthwhile. Oh no! Let's see that replay because Duplessis is in on this. Oh, we see a fuck in the comment section. Yeah, no shit. Let's talk about it right here, right now, kids. I want to see exactly how that transpired. He has back turned, and then all of a sudden you saw him go down. So I can't really exactly tell you what the strike was that put him down. But let's take a moment. It does look like Duplessis is pointing over at Dana White. There's a comment in the section that says, a beautiful. No, I missed it again. God damn it, Christopher. I was trying to look. Oh, it's the low left right there. It wasn't even enough to be a full uppercut because there was no upper to it. It was literally like a lower uppercut. Dude cut the very beginning of it. So that's a lot of power, man. Talk about the rotation that you can get just from doing that. And it says you might as well call him a Tribe Called Quest as a placeholder for his actual name. Why not, bro? Listen, bro. I wish I could use that name. I love fucking Tribe. That's pretty funny. All right, beautiful. It says yes from Joffrey. So yeah, we've got some notes here from some folks who have said some nice things throughout the evening. Appreciate you guys all coming in. All good. All right. Well, that looks very promising and good. I would love for you guys to give your comments and your notes in, I guess, the comment section is the best way to put it. Coming up next is going to be one Ben Rothwell or Marcin Tiberius. So, who do you have? Question mark. Chat. Go out to the internet public right now. That's my question for you. If you guys don't mind chiming in. Rothwell or Tibura, let me know. I hate when it says it says Facebook, an error happened. We'll come back to that. Okay. I think it's supposed to be actually on the oh, it did go through on that. Look at that. What a weird moment. All right, we're gonna probably get it post interview. I'll give you guys the highlights of what is said, and you know what's great? I don't know that we're going to have to Duplessis. So and then Hardy says Duplessis. Like, what the fuck? Make a fucking choice here, everybody. Thank you very much, Christopher. So, yeah, he really didn't have a lot of time. He was short on time. I guess it was a last-minute replacement sort of a deal. Said this is the highlight of his life thus far in. So he said he was just trying to get the initial movement there. Joffrey is saying, I like Ben Rothwell in this next fight. Okay. So Duplessis is saying he was starting to get the idea of it, the timing of his shots. And he does mention, he's like, that's when the counters started happening. Who said counters? This guy. So he says he believes he belongs in the top 20, which is bold considering this is your first fight. So sure. And he says, don't want to call it anybody specifically, but give him a fighter in the top 20. Okay, cool. I mean, listen, dude, you got to believe in you. I'm not going to tell you anything different. So there you have it. Ooh, look at this. I just see this. It reads backwards, but it says, I was at a 19 fucking sprain today. Look at that. It's my highest day strain. You know what? I'm not going to be able to do that next fucking Saturday. We're Saturday after fucking Saturday. So fucking angry. I just want to train. Is it too much to ask? To have enough, like, no one's gonna get up for a 5 a.m. session to do fucking grappling. I hate fucking training. And because I'm gonna be working so goddamn much, those are usually my weekend times. And if I drink on here, I can't like tell somebody like, hey, who wants to get together at like 5 p.m. and do some fucking rounds. All right, we'll figure that out. All right, I got Rothwell, Tibura, word. Liking that, boss. All right, my friends. Super stoked about this next fight. It says, I would wake up that early. Thank you, Christopher. That means a lot to me, friend. I would love that. And I would be that person that would show up and give you the best rounds because I always do that thing where my best rounds come on days when I'm motivated to be a guy who's just going hard because I want to justify my drinks. I want to justify my day. You know, today famously, as I do most Saturdays, on that last round, I look at a couple of the guys and I go, let's just keep going. And they go, really? And I go, yeah, I'm probably going to have pizza tonight, bro. Like, I can't just fucking chill. So I appreciate that, Christopher. Maybe one day in the future, I will come find you on a mat somewhere at 3 a.m. in the morning. And I'll be like, here we go. I actually told somebody, one of my friends, I hit him up because we were both mad about the fucking Lakers situation yesterday. I was at a party where I was surrounded by non-sports fans, civilians, and I was in such a bad mood the whole night. Like, I was trying to be a good friend, you know, as my wife's works functioned, and it's just a small group of people who really liked me the first time they saw me. And then Kelly goes, oh, well, we'll just put on the fights, and we'll put on the basketball game, the NBA finals for you. And I said, That's not how this works. Like, I get really angry at when I don't train. So it might be really bad. It's the same thing for basketball finals where I get really quiet because I don't want to watch with civilians. Hey, by the way, if you're watching on Instagram, it might stop. We don't know. Last week it went on for 4 hours straight, and it's not telling me we have any time limits. Fuck yeah. This shit's just going to go. I think we crossed a bridge over on Instagram. So now I can just do the broadcast for as long as it is because I would have to start and stop. Anyway, long story short, watching the finals with the civilians yesterday, I was in such a bad mood and, nothing much I could do about that one. So I felt really bad, like looking around at everybody because they tried doing that thing where they go, oh, I really like close games. I was like, well, I don't. I want them to fucking murder whoever they're playing. And they're like, oh, okay, well, they still got one more game, and this. I was like, it's actually two more, but I just really want them to win so that I can fucking go on with my life. I don't want to watch the NBA finals every day. I want to watch it once. They win. I go home. I do my thing. It's been a very trying week. But they play Game 6 tomorrow, so I'll just get over it. Anyway, and you know what I really want? I want to win with them. And then I think if they do win, I'm going to be very confused as to how we celebrate because is there a Zoom I'm supposed to join in to riot and flip cars? I'm not really sure how it works as a Laker fan in this age of social distancing. So, yeah, we all got to learn together here, kids. Do I send in a note to somebody and just say like, hey, I would have flipped your car if it was parked and we were celebrating, would have put it on fire, but COVID. But if there really is like a riot room that you're supposed to go to on Zoom, I kind of want to get the access code to it just so I can be like, what do you guys do? Like, how are we going to celebrate this? Because I either want no fans around me from other teams, lots of shit talking fans, or any combination of people who are sports fans. But if I have civilians who don't care about any sports at all, they just will not get me. And all things considered, again, yesterday, it's not like I'm like this every day, but all things considered, I'm usually a pretty normal fucking watcher of sports. So it is very difficult to explain to people like, if the Lakers haven't been in for 10 years, I kind of want to be alone. Or at a bar with my friends, which, or even watching with people who are passionate for the other team. One of my friends saw an internet clip of me and just goes, he's rooting for the Heat. And he sends me a text. He goes, I'm so sorry. I pray for you right now. Which is great when you have your opponent sending you prayers and being like, you're in my thoughts and prayers, sir. So fun shit. Awesome. All right, well, let's talk about a few things. I also want to remind you guys, if you give us a like and a share, we will give you a toast on air, like I think we're supposed to actually technically do for Marcus Perez. I don't think we did that one. If we did, remind me. All right, this toast goes on out to one Marcus Perez. Oh, no, not Marcus Perez, the police. Ugh. All right, sorry. I just read the first name because Ron Burgundy disease. All right, this toast goes on out to one Dricus Duplessis or Duplice. I don't really know how you're supposed to say your name. They've mispronounced it multiple times. I'm sure you've heard this all your life. My name's Rafa Sparza. A lot of people have mispronounced my name. Anyway, I'm not trying to equate it. I'm just trying to let you know I understand. And here's what I also want you to understand. That was a pretty savage fucking knockout there, kid. I was worried about you a little bit, but I did wonder what your counter capability was, and it was pretty good as we got to see there on that fight. So my cheers to you. You definitely earned it. And hey man, what a way to make a debut in the UFC. So cheers to you, bud. It always takes me a second because I just think to myself, when we do this and we do the cheers, they might watch for like 5 more minutes because usually fighters will just watch their own thing. And we've had some fighters where even when I didn't clip it, they're like, yeah, I watched your fucking Fight Companion. And I go, did you? What did you listen to? What did you hear? Was it good? Did you like it? And they're like, yeah, I loved it. I go, oh, okay, cool. Good thing you didn't stick around. So anyway. All right, friends. So glad you're joining us. Give us a like and a share as we're watching along right now. We'll give you a toast just like we did a few seconds ago. And if I forget to give you a cheers or a toast, just send me a message that shows me you gave us a share. And if you're watching on YouTube, if you wouldn't mind giving us a subscription on there, you get a little subscribe button. Let us know. If you give us a subscribe, and then you also get a toast on air. It's really that simple. We try to make this as uncomplicated as possible. So that's what you got, friends. Them's the notes. And hopefully we get to have some more fun as we continue on with our nonsense this evening. So hit me with your questions, comments, concerns, hints, allegations, all of the good usual stuffs as I keep a note and a lookout on everything that I'm seeing live and from the comments and notes that we have from all of our friends. We already have some people who are expressing their love and appreciation for Ben Rothwell, who we have noted earlier in the show. So I'm doing my best to keep things going, man. I want to make sure that y'all are kept up to date and up to the moment with all things there. Like, what did that say? That was a grind of a fight. Yeah, it was. That was from one Vince the Anomaly who put up on his fucking social media. He was, I guess he trains over with is he training with Yusuf? Man, yeah, he does. That's awesome. Good for them. That was a fucking grind of a fight. Really, really good one. Joaquin Buckley. Hashtag. What a fucking beast. Still my favorite moment of the evening. Maybe year. I know every once in a while we say this shit. That's a pretty funny one, Woods. Maybe I'll share that one. I'll see what mood I'm in. Yeah, it says on the highlight video, Marcus Duplessis face plants Marcus Perez in their fight from MMA Fighting. Very funny stuff. Anyway, kids, Ben Rothwell's coming up. Let's put the banner up for that one so y'all have a memory and a signpost of where we is and where we are going to be, because that is coming up next. So we got 3 more fights. Ben Rothwell, Marcin Tybura, Edson Barboza, Marcon Amirkhani, and then Marlon Moraes versus Corey Sandhagen. Those are massive, awesome fights. I'm stoked to see how Ben Rothwell makes the adjustments because I don't remember seeing him in the cage recently. So let's see when the last time we saw him. That was back in May. So as we know, was 2 years ago, according to COVID. But he did have a win over OSP. Now that I do remember. Before that, a win over Stefan Struve. Then losses from Andre, Blaggery, Junior Dos Santos, which understandable. And he even has that was one of the craziest things I remembered seeing. The win over Josh Barnett with the submission, the guillotine that he got over him. That's such a crazy thing to see. Like when you see those moments and you go, right, I do remember that. But he also has losses to Gabriel Gonzaga, Mark Hunt, and Cain Velasquez, as well as Andre Arlovsky. So that is his record. However, I would also implore you to look over at his opponent. His opponent this evening is one Marcin Tybura, and they're both in the cage already. He has finished 34 of 38 wins, 28 by knockouts. He also has back-to-back wins and 28 first-round finishes. His opponent is on a 2-win streak. Maxim Gershin and Sergey Spivak were his last 2 wins. He has losses to Augusto Sakai, Shamil Akhmirov, and Derek Lewis, as well as Fabricio Verdum. But he does have a win over Stefan Struve, which is an interesting thing to note when you compare their shit side by side. Both of them having recent wins over Stefan Struve. So my thanks to one, according to Woods, for giving us a nice little share there. We'll give you another cheers in a second. living for all of y'all's nice little mentions and fun shit here, fam. It's making us have a very good evening tonight. And it makes it easy to do these things. All things considered, Marcin Tybura looks pretty good. He is fighting out of Unijo, Portland. Unijo, or is it Uniho? I don't know, bro. Sometimes my brownness takes over and I just want to say Uniho. Oh, yeah, no, of course. I know him. He's from Uniho, Portland. That doesn't make any sense. Anyway, super stoked for y'all, kids. Hope you're enjoying our festivities here. I think we're going to continue on with without any interruption. I think we've just got these last 3 fights. And Rothwell, dude, he wants to get down to business. He is doing some weird big person shit that if a little guy did that, you would 100% insult and make fun of. Here we go. Let's press on. I'm going to give this a quick share on my social meds, and then we're going to be off to the races here. So share now. Bam. All right, here we go. Rothwell already starts with a nice strike. He is looking to make short work of Tybura. So those of you who have him, okay, things could happen. Tybura very, very quickly starts sliding back and out. Ooh, eats one on the chin while trying to press forward. Rothwell holding center, footwork, kind of a little all over the place. I think it's just that erraticness of that footwork. And he is putting it on right now. One Tybura, who weathered all of it until he got an uppercut right there. Jesus Christ. Rothwell really wants to try and get this done within the first couple of minutes here. Tybura holding on, gets a clinch for a split second, now loses it, and kind of swats away one of the punches. Tybura has essentially just been covering up for this full minute of action. That is a lot of pressure that I think one Rothwell is trying to put on him here, kids. I love this, dude. This is really, really good shit. Oh, Rothwell goes for a kick, leaves his chin exposed, and you do see Tybura getting a nice cross right there. Now, for a split second, I thought I saw Tybura's movement get a little bit better. So he is trying to piece it together momentarily, bit by bit. Rothwell still charging ahead. He is holding court in the center of that octagon very, very nicely, kids. Eek. All right. Rothwell, while shadow boxing essentially over here, allows for Tybura to kind of insert himself into this fight just ever so slightly. And you do see the output from Rothwell. It is slowed down ever so slightly. Tybura might actually start charging in here. So I wonder if that is built into the game plan for Rothwell. To be determined here, friends. I am considering asking you guys what you are thinking of this fight thus far, and even though it is still like a very early stage of the first round, I'm just confused how the pace is going to be for these big guys as we continue to watch them play around. Oof. What's up, everybody? My name is Rafa Barboza. What's up, Ryan Alvarez? Hopefully you guys are watching along. If you're not watching along, I'm happy to do play-by-play for you as we are watching UFC Fight Island Cinco. We're having some good shit all night long. And, don't be afraid to say hi. Leave us some comments. Chat with us. And it says, what's up with the weird striking of Rothwell? Well, the reverse hammer fist, namely, is what I think you're trying to bring up here. Listen, dude, sometimes big guys, they don't have to be as clean with their technique so they can get away with some weird ass shit that the rest of us go, that would not work in my division. But he does continue to press on against Tybura, so I kind of can appreciate it. It's just not my I don't think it would be my preferred style to go with in a fight. But I think if you're just a tank of a human being, you can take what's being presented back to you. Jesus Christ, nice stiff right by Rothwell there on Tybura. Now we're looking at the accuracy. Significant strikes are 35 of 116 for Rothwell compared to just 18 of 48 for Tybura. So, it feels like there's been more, but I think they're counting a bulk of those as blocked or defected. So just making sure. What's up, Cody? Hope you're doing well. Hope that training is going very nicely. And of course, as we noted here, the pace is slowed. And understandably so. I know what it's like to do grappling at my size, so I can only imagine what it's like to throw punches and have consistently good breathing all the way throughout a fight. And some nice signs of life by Tybura here. So we're now down to the last 10 seconds of the first round. They're a little bit more content to just kind of... Oh, no! Rothwell tried for a high kick and lost his balance. Tybura went to charge ahead. Nothing much doing there, so they make it out. I guess I would say this. I guess that's Rothwell's round. Not too many other ways of putting that one. It was weird. First minute, had a lot of energy. Second minute, still some energy. Third minute, okay. That was kind of the progression there that we saw. What is up, Noah? Thank you for joining us on this fight companion. We're hoping you guys are having a good night. I do like that these commercials for Prime Day look like they are still within the realm of the Money for Nothing Dire Straits video. So if you also don't know that reference, it's okay. It's an old reference. And yes, I recognize I am old. It's just what comes with the territory here, kids. All right. Special start time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Boo. For that fucking Khabib fight. What the fuck are we going to do? The fight's going to be over by 2 p.m. Yeah. I should message everybody and be like, who wants to train at 5 p.m.? That's where we start. Okay. Heavyweight second round right now, kids. Tybura leading the stance a little bit more this round and adding in a few kicks. Good for him. That's probably a very smart decision. Rothwell not changing too much, but maybe his pace is a little bit more cautious. Literally just threw out his arm as if he was measuring the amount of distance that a dad would without their measuring tape. Just kind of sticking it out there and be like, yeah, it's about this long. Tybura now being a little bit more cautious. Some more kicks to the leg. He's keeping his arm up a little bit more. And Rothwell is just kind of like Frankenstein stalking him down. And I think before where Tybura was a little confused by it, at the very least now he's dealing with it a little bit better. I'm watching my words because I'm watching Rothwell. And that's the hardest thing to understand is with heavy guys, momentum can shift very quickly. And you do see Tybura actually did a pretty good job of getting Rothwell up against the cage. He's now losing it. He's getting reversed here. But I think this is more along the game plan that his team probably had for him this night. Up against the cage, Tybura is now starting to try and pummel in a little bit more. He makes some angles, gets over to the side, and now comes on over. They're off the cage. Rothwell tries for an uppercut. Tybura steps back ever so slightly as to avoid that, charges forward with a nice little overhand right of his own, and it just doesn't have a ton of effect on Rothwell yet. Rothwell is very, very stoic with these fucking steps as he just takes toward him. And again, I would not advise this form of striking for everybody, but sometimes when you're big, you can just do shit. That's as easy as it comes. Rothwell thought about a knee, but then realized, oh shit, I have to lift my own knee? No, thank you. Goes back to the uppercuts, and Tybura is just continuing on. So if I were to be bold, and don't take this the wrong way, but if you were to look at some ADCC matches where they just kind of head wrestle, there's not actual wrestling, they're just trying to move each other around while pushing each other with their heads. If you added strikes, this might be what some of those matches look like. That's as easy as I can kind of give you guys as a description. Just thinking about the way that we know we've seen certain fighters or certain grapplers get away with some questionable, not great wrestling, but they just kind of went along with. Who can say? No one's going to shit on anything. It's just the yikes. So there you have it. Round 2 going underway, and the striking now is coming a little bit more into play for Tybura. So I wonder if this is closer to being his round. I just missed the statistics by looking down, so hopefully y'all have this as well. But he is connecting more, so that is really nice to see. And I think he is very tired, because I do think you start to punch yourself out on a human being after a certain amount of time. He was staggering Rothwell now at this point. Rothwell continuing to just try and charge forward. But every time he charges forward, it's like the villain in a movie for a horror film, where he just kind of like staggers and you go, well, he doesn't have a knife anymore, and it seems like he might want to go down at some point. So that's the interp I'm getting right now. Don't know if it's the same one you have. Rothwell throws up a kick, but they're very loose at this point. This is kind of like his version of like throwing a kick is kind of that weird ass version of using it as a form of a jab, where you throw it out to set up your other moves, and then instead you go, nah, that was the thing, dude. Literally thought my kick would have some more spice on it, but it did not. Second round is last 10 seconds, and it is not super compelling, but oof. Tybura was just about to go for a takedown and just thought, nah, no, with 5 seconds left. But I think he was just kind of signaling, like, I would have gone for the takedown if I wanted to. Refs, which is usually a nice way of playing up to that audience and saying, like, oh, yeah, I was going to go for a takedown, even though we all know. Probably not. All right, 2 rounds in. That could be more Tybura. Does anybody feel that Rothwell won that one? I'm willing to entertain your arguments if you thought so. I just don't. But we've heard crazier shit on this show, so wouldn't be the first time that we hear some random ass shit that I go, that's not true, but I'll buy it for $1. I'll listen to what somebody's got to say with it. Oh, no, don't show me wings. That's rude. Yeah. I'm just more so mad that they're showing me wings on the show. Okay. Like the producer wife, Kelly, is interpreting that, and she's like, are you hungry? I'm like, I'm always hungry. But wings on fight nights are especially like, fuck. That sounds so good. Ben Folks is saying something that I do generally agree with. As heavyweight fights go, this is a very busy one. Rothwell and Tybura doing work. He's not wrong in the way that you would traditionally say somebody is wrong. He might not just be right. That's a better way of saying it. We've seen a lot of output, so there is that. The quality of that output is still heavily in debate. 4 minutes and 12 seconds in the third round left to go. Tybura is, again, I mean, he's tired too, dude. This might be one of the times that you might need to bring oxygen tank into the octagon after the fight is done. Not because they have like COVID and they're suffering from that, but just because, you know, they've lived through a lot in these past 15 minutes. So Yeah, some of these kicks aren't even like, hey, I'm trying to hurt you kicks. They're just like, ow, stop. So I would say a different story about some of these punches, though. Some of them look pretty yikes. But still, charging for it. I think the weirdest part about Rothwell's striking is that he alternates sides where he punches on the same side he's stepping with. So it just kind of is like, if you get that kind of cheat code where you understand he's just charging toward you and just move out of the way on one of them, it's like the pattern they build in on video games for like one of the evil boss's henchmen. I just got to zigzag and then he can't find me. Uh-oh. This is not great because guess what? Tybura wants to win this fight and just pronounced that by getting a takedown on Ben Rothwell, which might be enough for the judges to say, yeah, all right, I'll buy that for $1. Rothwell trying to pull down on the head, get in a high guard here. Referee goes over, knocks that out, trying to throw some fists while he's got a close guard here, pulling down on the head still, but Tybura still doing most of the work in this particular position. This might be where we're at. Now, granted, there's a couple elbows here, and I can kind of appreciate how this is happening. It's just these guys are so tired. There's not a major form to any of this. Even Tybura is kind of taking the bait a little bit on the, hey, listen, dude, we can just stand here and just kind of pretend to hit each other. I think they already know how we did. Do you want to just take the rest of this round off? You can chill. I can chill. Hey, Rothwell, thought about a triangle maybe? Which is insane, by the way, if he did get a triangle. No, instead he went to like a higher mount, kind of did that TP where he just kind of pulls him back down. Recently, we did see one organization when there was a female fighter who tapped that kind of TP pressure when they just kind of put up their legs and put the arms around their body from inside of mount, and it had no form, and everybody was angry, as they should be. A minute 15, and unless Rothwell gets like a sweep here or just kind of opens up his guard and has a really good game plan for how to get out of this very well could be Tybura's fight, which would be huge, but I digress. This 58 seconds on the clock feels like it's going to be for fucking ever. Eek. I like that Lovato put in response to Joaquin Buckley's finish earlier tonight. It says, this is why you have to be well-rounded and open and learn to train just about every sort of martial art there is. So I get that. That's a hard thing to explain to people. One day you might need the secondary spinning back kick. They're like, why wouldn't I just use the first spinning back kick? That might not work. That might catch your leg. You might need to get your leg back by kicking them in the face and ending the fight. Oh, okay. Sure thing, pal. Last 14 seconds, and Tybura might win this fight. So that's what you got. Ben Rothwell is bleeding pretty rough as they're going to very nicely call it a day on this fight. And Rothwell is back up to standing and kind of stuttering his way over to his corner. I hope that he is okay. That stutter does make me a little concerned. Tybura is just kind of waltzing his way over to his corner. And there, yep, as you saw, that same step forward with the same leg that you step and punch with. It's like a weird combination you put together. You don't see too many fighters do that. It's almost like putting like a machine gun to your hands. It says stumbling. Yeah, he is stumbling a little bit. That's concerning, man. Also, I guess his regular general demeanor is concerning as well, because he's that dude who's done that weird ass laugh in a number of his fights. Yeah, Tybura should have this locked up. Between the fight statistics that they're putting up right now, he had 52 strikes to 31 in the second round. He also had 32-17 in the third. So you should probably win. But yeah, How about that? They go to the fight announcement. Let's see if Rothwell makes his way over to. I do not think he is. Barboza does get the win. Rothwell does not make it over for the official fight announcement. Says Marcin for the win. Marcin's very, very complimentary of Rothwell, saying like, yeah, of course he fights a lot. You got to respect that. I think I just saw Ben walking around, so that's positive. I don't think they're showing that on camera. Marcin says he loves him some Fight Island. And now Dan's asking, what do you need to do to get to the belt? And says he would love to fight a top 10 guy. Okay. I like that it says they refer to it as Marcin Tybura, and that just proves we've been saying his name 100% wrong throughout the evening. I feel no shame in it. That's a weird-ass name. It says maybe for the cuts. Yeah, I don't know. Probably. It's just really weird that somebody doesn't make their way, even though he was stumbling. I don't want to say he was fucking 100% out of it. Just concerning, that's all. These guys are big. Their punches, they must hurt a lot. But look at this. Great night of fights, and I've been having a blast. Cheers, my dude. What is up, G baby? Thank you so much. Oh, look at that. A like and a share, you guys know, gets you a toast on air. So I appreciate you guys. What is up, Claudio? Thank you also for joining us. But yes, MG Sweet Marcin. Sorry, we learned how to say his name finally. Marcin for the win. Indeed. Yeah, I did. My wife just pointed out to me what the time slot is going to be in 2 weeks. It's not pleasant. I want to say it starts early again next week, but I don't know that for sure. What time does it start next week?
So next week is 1 o'clock.
Okay, that's better.
Then it's like...
Or it's 11 a.m.
Oh, no. 12 Eastern.
Well...
9.
Yeah, that's 9 a.m. is when they're doing some prelims. I think they even have early prelims at 7 a.m. So we were saying on air that we're going to have to come up with a strategy.
Next week after that, again, 4, aka 1.
Ugh.
And then after that, it's finally back to 7 p.m., which is, what, 4.
Oh, wow. Look at that. Look at that synchronized. That's a great photo. Everybody's mind just being blown by Joaquin Buckley's fucking amazing ass spinning back kick. I like, though, yeah, G Baby, you're not wrong in saying great night of fights. It's just been incredible. So let's look. If you guys give us a like and a share, I got to give you a toast. That last fight did not have a definitive finish with a submission or a knockout. So there are no cheers ascribed for that for the fighters, but you can get one if you give us some love. And I always appreciate you guys coming through for us. It is very fun as we're learning tonight. It's just like voting. You got to make a plan. You got to sit down, figure out how you're going to attack this thing, do your research, though I don't really research this, and get ready. So I guess that's what we're going to have to do within the middle of the week. Not looking forward to that. Not looking forward to that at all. I was saying earlier, though, that I was like, I normally like to train at that time, and that's not going to work next week. Next week, I think I can get away with it. The one's fine. It's a little earlier than I like, and at least we know now, and I don't feel bad that I tell Dan the wrong time, because the UFC website did say 3 p.m. ESPN app did not. Comments. Let me see here. Christopher Velez, I want Barboza to get the win. Absolutely. Hakodako, who says, hey, man, where can I watch this UFC live? This one is on ESPN Plus, I believe. So let me just double check that for you. Yeah, the main card and the prelims are all ESPN Plus tonight. So that's where you can check those out. And Joffrey says, I like Edson Barboza in this fight. Well, that's excellent. I think Edson has to be a favorite on this one. But let's see, man. Edson's like a fucking human highlight machine. So he's definitely got our attention this evening. Well, these are some good submissions from his opponent here tonight. So I don't know. I always like to see people who can pull off submissions. This dude is very non-committed in the face when he's looking and saying his notes. He's just kind of like, I will probably hurt him. Okay, whatever you say, pal. So them's the notes that we got. All right. Just a reminder, if you guys haven't checked out our season premiere for season 3 of Grappling Hour, go check that out. You don't have to do it tonight. I would appreciate if you do it by tomorrow. That'd be cool. But this week, for the premiere of season 3, we put together a huge show. So we've got Cody Steele, William Tackett, Gio Martinez, Aaron Teagues, and Andy Night Varela. That's a pretty good show. And all of those folks were talking about their wins in the past 2 weeks. William Taggart has been on a tear. He picked up a win over at Submission Underground. And who's number 1? Cody Steele picked up a very prominent heel hook win over at Submission Underground 18. Then you also had Gio Martinez put on a show against Paul Meow. And we got to talk to him. He gave us some really great insight as to what he was going through during COVID, which I very much appreciated his time. Andy Night Varela, also another stunner over at the Submission Underground cage. Put together some really great competition footage. A great win for him over on that as well. And then we ended with young and coming upstart 1, Aaron Teagues, who looks really good in the game, man. He is doing a very solid job of putting it down for the folks who like to wear Dachki. So I was very proud of him for doing that. All right. I'm going to put in the comment section while I can, because sometimes they consider if I ask you guys, who do you think is going to win on, I want to say, Periscope. They think it's spam, which is ridiculous. It's like, I don't know. I just put names in there and they're like, spam. I go, no, I'm not asking them to win like a free Amazon gift card or something. I'm just saying, I would like to know who the people who are watching live with us, who there are a number of you, would like to see watch a fight on a Fight Companion broadcast. It's very difficult to explain these problems to people who are like the internet programmers. Guess what? This one went all the way through. G-Baby came through and says, Americani, look at that. All right, we're already off to the races with people giving in notes like that one. I'm going to put a question here. I would see that my wife has sent me a meme on my chat. Yep. This is a little too real that she should not be, of all people, sending me this meme. But it is definitely the food situation that I'm sure many people have gone through, and you might have even I'm sure heard me talk about at least once on this show before. Anyway, tell me who else you guys got. We have a nod for Marcani, and I would assume there's a handful of you who like Edson Barboza, as Joffrey has already put in the comment section as well. So very intrigued to see who is out there, who wants to support. They're already in the cage, so that means we can already get straight to this fight. This is good. We are flying through the evening. We just got 2 fights left, kids. This one and the main card, or the main. Shango says, I hope Boza gets it. Is that his official nickname? Are we supposed to go with Boza? I don't know. I don't know if that's like, if I met him, I'd be like, what's up, Boza? Probably look at me and go, please don't call me that again, sir. whatever you do. Joey Martinez making the introductions. Look at this. Rakani with the little dance step being light on his feet right now. He fights out of Finland, so that's that funny accent he was using that I couldn't really tell beforehand. 5'10", 140. Good record for him, of course. It'll be interesting. I mean, I would assume his game plan is probably to try and get him down, try and get that submission. Then you got Barboza. Man, 20-9. Fighting out of Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. He is the negative 250 favorite. And again, 5'11". These guys are very tall for that size. Like, whenever they're like 5'11" and like 146, I always think to myself, like, what the fuck are you not eating? Like, that's a fucking tough life. And Kevin Sakai doing a little bit of Yamasaki, a little bit of love of like showing some appreciation to the camera. All right, kids, here we go. Round one. 4:56 on my clock. Hopefully you are somewhere in that region as well. Barboza starting to move Makani down. No strikes thrown just yet. Both these guys very much waiting to make the first move. You see Makani slide out to these, I believe it is his left-hand side. Well, Barboza maybe throws the first leg kick, gets checked. Marcani comes in for a hook, nothing there. He blocks another strike attempt from Barboza, very quickly swats it away, keeps his eye on the prize the entire time. Now starts getting in some good movement. Going over to the side. We're at a very good start here. Mostly because I do like the way that both of them are just understanding of what the other is capable of. For Barboza, you know that, dude, he's made so many highlight finishes with mostly just his strikes, but he's somebody who can also get some submissions as well. And for Makani, you know he needs to get this to the ground, so he doesn't want to overcommit to leaving himself any kind of open if he is going to try and get a takedown here in any way, shape, or form. So there is that. All right. Watching, patiently waiting for something here to kind of implode. It's a very strange Barboza, like he steps in and ducks, but he keeps himself planted. It's very odd for somebody with his good movement to really ever stay planted like that. All right. Well, you're not seeing a ton of strikes thrown in this first round. But now you're starting to see maybe Barboza cut a few more angles. As we were mentioning a little bit earlier, just the difference in records between both of these guys is interesting to look at. Barboza is coming off a 3-fight losing streak, which is very odd to say with his name in that sentence. But think about the people he lost to. Justin Gaethje, a barn burner against Paul Felder, and Dan Ige. Those are 3 people that he lost to that in his division really aren't slouches. And yes, he did fight at UFC 242 at Abu Dhabi before, so this is not unusual for him to be in this kind of setting. Nice kick over by Barboza, who just comes and chimes in with a quick little uppercut to the midsection on Americani. Mirkani tries him with the jumping knee. Just a very little of it lands as Barboza steps back just in the nick of time. Ooh, there was a shot in by Americani who had a single, and you did see Barboza just kind of quickly run out of it. Now Americani might stalk him down. Nope, wasted time there. Barboza has his stance back and in the center of the octagon once again. Interesting. Yeah, that shot was a little bit concerning. A nice little uppercut there by Americani. Barboza kind of gets in and maybe pummels, but just in the nick of time, you do see Americani get a little bit of dirty boxing in there. $50 left to go in this first round. This is probably going to be their test out round. See how they can kind of match up in their next one, though. Oh, I guess they're saying this is the biggest fight in British MMA history. Odd. Okay. 18 seconds. Barboza is trying to hold up the right hand and maybe, telegraph he does want to go ahead and hit across here. Nope. Ben Folks just tweeted out and said, the mature look on Barboza has me doing double takes. It's like if Barboza became a university professor. Sure. It's not an inaccurate description. It's also one that I'm kind of like, I guess. I wouldn't really confuse him. I'd be like, dude just has a beard, dude. He does look a little different, but it's not like he's wearing a cardigan around in the ring right now. Well, let's see what adjustments they make. I would like to see maybe Barboza be a little bit more, a little more aggressive here. Christopher says Edson's looking good. He's not looking bad, not at all. And I do think the stuffing of the confidence of Americani is probably going to be really important in the second round. So if you are going to see probably a takedown by Americani, he's going to have to make a better angle. He did just very oddly buck him down. That was a nice little replay they did of Americani, not really getting a takedown as much as just kind of a throwdown. Round 2, 4:54 on my clock. Hopefully you are somewhere in that same region. If not, maybe just a smidge ahead of me. Americani with a nice counter jab on that, or a counter hook, I guess I should say. Very fascinating to see. They're still kind of holding it back. Barboza straight back to the inside leg kicks. Uppercut attempt by Americani. It says live in-play wagering after round 1. Americani and Barney plus 220. Edson Barboza negative 300. So it does note here in some of the comments on the Twitter sphere on the UFC page, it says Barboza is coming ahead 10-9 on a couple of these folks' cards. Not that they mean anything, but, I think we're kind of all in agreement. Barboza is in the lead. In a very, very tense fight that is starting off. It does look like Barboza is maybe leaving himself just ever so slightly open. Just takes a couple little shrug hits here and there. Nice kick attempt by Americani. I guess the question is, will we see Americani go in for another takedown here? I would assume he would probably try to rush in, lead it with the jab, maybe see if he can grab a leg after doing that. The hard part is you just don't want to stay right in the line of sight for Barboza. Huh. It feels like every time Barboza sees him do a back step, he kind of charges in with a leg kick that doesn't quite hit at full impact, but it's just to kind of get a consistent presence on the scorecards to make sure he's still being active. Okay. Oh, that was a great knockdown by Barboza. He calculated that, and he's not rushing the second off of this. Comes in, has a front-headed arm control. Now has switched that on over to a potential choke here. He may not have that all the way in. He is sprawled out, keeping all of his weight down, and Americani is maybe on a little bit too late trying 2-on-1 these hands. I think he just kind of has to wait to see what Barboza is going to do here. He's not really moving. He's staying in the turtle. And I do love a comment that just says, woo, in the comment section, because I think they know that this is probably a good opportunity for exchange here. Love that, though. Americani did 2-on-1 the hands to the point where Barboza said, I'll stand back up. And now he's feeling way more confident. This is the Barboza that we know. I think he's found his line of sight. And yes, there you go for Americani, who did go in for a takedown. Barboza right back on top of it with great head control. Now sprawling out once again, keeping the pressure down on it. So Americani has to carry his entire weight on his back. So if he's going to move, he's going to have to move with all of Barboza on the back. And you are seeing, I believe, some blood that I do believe belongs to Edson Barboza. He tries to keep the head, has to give it up. Now 1:11 left on the clock. And I do feel this is where you may see Barboza start to increase the output. Woo, indeed. That woo was merited. I didn't know if it would be at first, but here we are. 50 seconds left to go in the second round, man. Yeah, I mean, maybe the educated, bearded Barboza takes his time now. Maybe he doesn't act as crazy. He doesn't act the fool. He just says, all right, I mean, listen, dude. Oof, right again. Every single time is right back to that front head control. And now this time he is rolling through. This choke looks a little bit better. It is getting tight, and you are seeing Americani. Oh, he does get out of it. Now Americani was trying to reverse it and go for a submission of his own. Barboza is doing an excellent job of stuffing the majority of this takedown. He's still having to deal with a little bit of Americani just kind of dumping his weight on him just to make a very, very quick impression. You mentioned Darce, but in that transition, it did look like he was probably going to have to adjust it just like he was doing in that previous time. He went from that kind of anaconda control to maybe thinking, am I going to roll with it? Am I going to keep this Darce? It's a dicey situation in those moments, but every time on that button, there's 2 times he caught him straight with that right. Right overhand. That's beautiful. And he even steps into it after. So the bulk of the power is supposed to come as you're stepping into it. But on that, it's like he loaded it, steps, and it could have been more powerful after he kind of connected with that stepping pressure into it. So fascinating. Excellent work on that side, though. Talk about Professor Barboza looking very nice there, One Ben, folks. So you may not be wrong on him reaching a professorial aspect from his game. But, you know, dude's just got a beard, so it's not enough for me to go. Kakamaka says, sniper of a right hand. Absolutely, man. It's just fucking fun. So many people are still sharing the Joaquin Buckley, as they should. Everybody should share that 3 times today. All right, here we go. 4 minutes, 40 seconds. Somebody put it as a 2017 Barboza. Second round was a 10-8 for him. Interesting. We love giving out our 10-8s, don't we, Press Row? It's one of Kevin's favorite things to do. He's like, yeah, I think that's a 10-8. I was like, it's not. Just, no. I'm always like, a 10-8 has to be super dominant. I think we had some good moments from Barboza, but those 2 knockdowns were it there. It's just so much technical striking. Absolutely, man. Barboza's been putting that. Kelvin asks, who's winning right now? If you ask us here and on the comment section, you would have to say it's Barboza, but Americani gets a nice takedown here. He has to work like hell in this round. He really has to throw everything out here to get a finish because he's not going to win on the scorecards. 3:46 left to go in the 3rd round. So, Kelvin, if you are here hoping for Americani win, it is possible. It might not be something we see. So this is an interesting, weird-ass Kimura grip from Barboza. that is mostly trapping the leg and just kind of making the most out of your position. As Barboza kind of like leans back a little bit more, the crunched up body of Americani is just trying to deal with the loss of the arm. If Barboza was able to get up, he might have been able to take the back, but it's a very tough position to work out of when you're caged a little bit against that backdrop. Tavares says, I'm Brazil. Okay. You're going for Brazil. You live in Brazil. Would you like play-by-play so that you can know how Barboza is doing? Because so far with 226 left to go, or 246 left to go, he is winning this fight. It is very much just interesting to see how the rest of this plays out as Barboza has Americani in his guard. Is going to, I living Brazil. Okay, that's awesome. Thank you for joining us. It's a very interesting fight. I think Barboza might be able. Barboza tries with the triangle. Nothing doing there. Goes right back into his full guard. So now is just content with just holding Americani so that he doesn't make too much movement or too much impression on the judges there. But Americani in Barboza's guard continues to just try and pepper him with some shots on the inside there. And it says, do I like Moraes? Yeah, he's a really good fighter, man. He's a beast. I would tell you I'm excited for that fight. Sandhagen, good fighter, but Moraes is really good. So we'll see how this one plays on out tonight. I'm just going to guess you're going for Marlon here. If I were making a guess, you being from Brazil. And Sandhagen coming off a loss from Sterling. So it'll be interesting to see how he rallies. This is his first loss in 3 years since his LFA days. And meanwhile, Marlon is coming off a win over Jose Aldo. Oh, the referee said, fuck this, get back up to standing. You guys know I like to see a fight that stands up. Sure. Ooh. But this is really way more of an opportunity for Barboza than it is for Americani, who I think may have put so much of himself into that grappling side, even to getting the takedown, that that's not where you exactly really want to live in. I very like the new Diviso Figueroa, God of War. Dude, he's awesome. I like the weird stand-up. Yeah, I guess it's just, I don't know. It's so weird to see somebody stand them up. I guess it's just the inactivity against the cage. Barboza was winding up for a kick there, spinning back kick, just decides not to do it. Americani tries for an uppercut just to kind of connect and see what he can do. Barboza's already got his hands up, and Americani tries to do the same. They both exchange a nice hug at the very end, and cue in sitcom. Aww. And Barboza seems to be complimenting him, or maybe asking him to do a movie. One of the two. And that's it. That's the fight. Barboza won. We just need them to announce it. You want to see Silva versus Adesanya? Well, they did do that fight. I just would say that Adesanya is, I know he's really hyped right now, but there is a lot of technical prowess to that young man. So he's been very complimentary of Anderson Silva in saying, listen, dude, I'm not going to be him. That's our GOAT. That's our guy that you should give the most respect to. I want to chase what he did, but he's the standard. And I think that's a great answer. So, yeah, I don't know. Everybody wants to know, does everybody want to see Jones versus Adesanya? The UFC website is so an accurate resource for info. It's not like they have an in with the company or anything. Fair. All right, let's hear what the score was, though. 30-26, 30-27, and 29-28. Okay. And Edson Barboza is your winner. Very nice. Gents are spending some time. I think he literally just told him good shit and they were late on the buzz. You're a great fighter and I respect you a lot. Well, that's nice. Hardy does not know what to do here, though. Jesus Christ. I think there's some light applause in the background. Hardy says that was a hard-fought fight, which odd. Said he was trying to move a little bit, but he's very happy with that. Yeah, I think he's saying he's very happy to get a W back in his house because he just had 3 straight losses. He wants to be a champion. He's now asking for a top 5, top 6 fighter so he can earn his chance back to. All right, he says top 5, top 6. Oh, we got a Pahada, everybody. Good. Look at that. We had somebody earlier that said, you know, if you Pahada, that means you're on the bomba. Kids with their legal juicing and whatnot, but I don't know that he is. I don't want to put that on Barboza. If he is juicing, it looks great. So, boom. All right, kids, we're coming up on the last fight. God damn it. Well, we're about to see the main event in a minute. They'll probably take their time on getting them out there, but this is it. This is the last fight. I would say, and then we could all go home, but I'm already home. So it's really the last fight, and then we're done until next week at 1 p.m. when we do another one of these. All right, Moraes versus Sandhagen. Question mark. Who? Who do you have? Question goes on out to all of our friends on all of our different channels. Instagram, I'm looking at you. Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, I'm looking at you. Tell me in the comments who you have, and we'll take a look at what you guys are thinking, where you're feeling on this main event, because it is nice main event. Nothing makes me happier than seeing everybody share that clip of Buckley, though. Man, such a great fucking knockout. I still want to see like 49 people on my social media share that knockout just because it's so good. I just did a quick look. All right. Christopher chimes in with Marlon. I see that. I can see that happening. I guess the real question is who's taking Sandhagen? I don't want to have the whole world turn against this kid. This kid's, you know, he's a good kid. He's known as the Sandman. The kid's 28 years old. Fights out of Colorado. Aurora, by the way. As part of the Elevation Fight team. And he is a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. We just mentioned he came off his second loss in his MMA career against Sterling, and that was a submission loss back in June 6th, which is, man, I remember him losing. It just, sometimes it takes a split second during Corona. I think everybody, when they have to recall fights, should be able to utilize their cell phone when asked about anything that happened during the Corona era. You're like, do you guys remember what happened there? Yeah, 1 second. You're like, why are you pulling out that? Don't you just know it off the top of your head? I was like, well, this feels like it was 10 years. So I just need to cheat and pull this up. Oh, God. Oof. Everybody fight. And that's the emphasis behind this one. And Sandhagen getting some nice love for his armbar. And his finishes where he stops his opponents. So, yeah, this will be interesting to see how this works. Are we doing walkouts already? Show them walkout. All right, we got to change the branding on this too. Banner. Ooh, here's the good news. I won't actually finish this in time for SNL tonight. Look at that. In case you're wondering who's on SNL, young man William Burr will be hosting tonight, and I would like to see him host. Well, you didn't set it? I think we'll be done before then. It starts at 8:30, so we're good. Producer wife Kelly, disappointment. To be fair, we are getting rid of that cable, so that's good. Shango says, I'll take Sandhagen just to be contrarian. Good for you. Let me see. We didn't have a fight finish on that one. Just as a final reminder, if you give us a like and a share, I'll give you a toast. You got to get them in now because guess what? Once this thing is done, I might not remember because I wrap up these shows fairly quickly at the end. Hey, congratulations to Larry David, who married his girlfriend, Ashley Underwood. As one fan joked, Larry was like, pandemic, let's get married. No guest. Sounds about right. Oh my God. That's so funny. At-risk group. 2 70-year-old grannies were competing this weekend at the IBJJF Pan Championship. That's really nice. I do know the blue belt is Mama Freestyle, who is very nice, who's friends of our friend that we were talking about a little bit earlier, one Danny Freestyle. So Danny Moria, who just won gold over at the Pan Ams, makes it a family affair. Super cool to see. Good for them. Which I guess is going to be weird to talk to people about pans because, like, I still don't know how that happened, how they did it, how they pulled it off, but it's definitely something that has gone on. All right, second walkout happening right now. Marlon about to head on out. All right. Marlon about to come on out. And of course, Marlon's loss that is most recent is a year ago against Henry Cejudo, and that was for the vacant UFC Bantamweight Championship. So this dude is definitely somebody who's held the WSOF Bantamweight Championship. He is also from Rio de Janeiro. He's a good fighter in his own right, but I do not believe he has held the UFC title. So as a result of that, it'll be very interesting to see where he comes in. You know, I mean, he definitely wants to put in the work out this way to see what he can pull off. My dog is also acting all the fool right now. Oh, wow. That's too much to see. You could tell it we're getting close to the end of the show because my dog is like asking, no, begging, no, demanding attention. And it's like, we're not going to do this right now. King James 322 says, Corey all the way. Look at you, King James. Well, I don't know, man. Marlon's a tough draw. But I don't even want to say I support you in your decision. I hope for the best for you. But yes, Corey did walk out to Give Me the Loot by the Notorious B.I.G., so I can give him some props for that. That was a good walkout song. And, of course, Marlon walks out to Lord Give Me a Sign by DMX. Also not bad. You said, are you going to stream it? No, I'm not. I'll give you play-by-play. Stream it makes me not have a channel anymore. And as much as I like you guys, it's not happening. But, again, we'll do play-by-play. And I'm happy to walk you through it, answer any questions that you might have in regard to it. They're about to get started. Fine announcements with the names happening right now. Tail of the tape goes as follows. Corey Sandhagen at 5'11" is a significant difference to Marlon's 5'8". Meanwhile, reach is, of course, going to be on the advantage of Corey Sandhagen, who is 4th ranked in his division against Marlon's 1st, of course. So this fight having a lot of implications this evening. All right. here's your main event. They're walking. They're frantically pacing. Corey definitely looking like he is just ready to just fucking pop off any second now. Mark Goodard is your referee today, which is a relief. That's good to see. I like him. And this is, of course, your main event introduction, so it takes about a minute and a half, which is crazy. I mean, look at that Corey's back tattoo. There's a lot of detail. I wonder how many sessions he would have to do to get all of that done. Could you imagine being like, no, more please? Like, it still looks like he's going to put more ink on that, if I'm being honest. There's got to be so much fucking time spent fucking lying down to have that done, though. And, of course, Marlon with the record 23-6-1. Fighting out of Parkland, Florida. He's the underdog in this one. So, King James going for Corey. That's an interesting line. That's plus 125. Okay. Dan did talk about that a little bit earlier tonight. Just as a little precursor for you guys. We should be going in a few seconds. This should be a 5-rounder. I still don't know what the audience situation there is in Fight Island. I think they have them like socially distanced seating with like a small capped audience. But they do the lighting where you can barely see who's in the crowd. But I do see people, so I'll tell you that much. All right, here we go. Happening in 3, 2, 1, and go. Round 1, I have 4:57 on my clock now. Hopefully you're in that region. If not, that's your problem. Starting off with kicks from both gentlemen. I believe Sandhagen was the first to initiate it. Moraes is going to be in the yellow, Sandhagen in the black trunks. Of course, if you ever get confused, just got to figure out which one of them is more Brazilian and then match that with their trunk colors, and that's who you got. Meanwhile, Sandhagen, comes in with a kick that Marlon catches for a half second and lets go very quickly. Cody with a very nice kick to the inside. It definitely gets Marlon's attention. Just the two different styles in the body. I mean, looking at somebody being that tall definitely presents a number of very, very difficult things that you have to address as a fighter. When you give up about 5 inches in height, it does make a difference. Nice kick. Beautiful power by Marlon right there. Now we're in the striking portion. Marlon connecting on a couple of these, looking very nice. Corey standing his ground, not really affected by too much of it, but he is acknowledging it. It's going to be an interesting series. Like, both of these gents look like they will mostly be setting up their strikes with their hands by way of their kicks. So be very, very mindful of watching how they start to set up a lot of these kicks and see where they lead to. But so far, this is kind of indicative of that very interesting fight that we knew would be hard to kind of predict on this one. So that's why a couple of you who look to be contrarian might actually not be the wrong here tonight. Sandhagen tried for a jumping knee, kind of got swatted away, but it was still an interesting attack to watch happen upside. You did see Moraes going in with this first high kick. Doesn't really connect, but I think at this point he's figuring out what he may need to do. Good adjustments there, holds his ground, gets a nice shot to the body as Sandhagen absorbs and walks back ever so slightly. Brings up a knee. Moraes pushes him back, now starts to charge in on the inside leg. A lot to observe just within the first 3 minutes here as Marlon comes in with a spinning back fist of his own. I think the interesting thing is the flow of Marlon's strikes. Like watching him move from one different style to another, it's very seamless. It's very difficult to see somebody who has that kind of transition work on the way that they fight. Marlon started to charge ahead. Sandhagen was backpedaling, takes one right on the cheek, but still finds a way to circle right back into the action. Ooh. For a split second, Marlon overcommitted, basically does a very nice fitness move by touching the ground with one arm and jumps right back up very quickly. Sandhagen tries with a spinning back fist of his own, and Marlon responds one more again with one of his. This is a very interesting thing to see that from both of these gents, but I think at this point, they just kind of figure might as well throw everything on the wall. It'll be interesting. I feel like this is very much Marlon's round to begin with. So we're already off to a decent start thus far in. 30 seconds left to go in the first round. Just as you saw Sandhagen start to get to work, Marlon counters with a really nice swat, nice little hook from his left. Ooh, nice catch of the kick by Marlon, who's going to run it into a single. Sandhagen tried to grab, see if he could roll into it, but instead accepts being dumped down with just a couple seconds. It's not going to make too much for them. It says, nice connection on that. Absolutely. All right, round one in the books. Ooh, look at this. Yes. And pizza has arrived for me. So if they break, I take a couple bites. So let's hear what they're. So now his corner is telling Marlon, you have the range. I just need you to push him up a little bit more. Good kick. Very interesting to see Marlon's in-ring adjustments or in the cage adjustments during the beginning of that first round. Oh. Felder believes that Sandhagen has that round. Fascinating. This might be a fun round to predict bit by bit. Let's see what the social media says here. I don't see anybody else making any bold proclamations just yet. So now if we looked at that first round and we say, okay, if they talked about figuring out how to get that person's distance with your corner, the question is, oh no, Sandhagen just shouted his orbitals broke. Yikes. Oh! Wow. Let's look at that again. And a nice little shh and quiet. So some of you looking to be contrarian, you're not wrong. It does look like they're saying he got the wind knocked out of him. It is a spinning heel kick that was the finish here. They're going to do the replay just so we can walk you through it one more time. Beautifully set up. He clips just the top of the dome, and it's just enough to make essentially Marlon do a really good back roll for a warm-up in jiu-jitsu. Look at this. That form is beautiful. Let's look at it one more time here. Sets it up nicely with a jab that does not look like it's going anywhere, but it's all the distraction that gives him the opening that he needs to finish. Wow. Beautifully done by Corey. I mean, damn is fair, but let's be clear. That's a pretty fucking epic way to win. Marlon is somebody who is a very storied career, and that has to be huge for him. So I very much look forward to hearing what he has to say in his post-fight in just a minute. What's up, everybody? Oh, look, it's Luis. Look at you, Luigi. Showing up just to talk, I'm sure, about how incredible Corey Sandhagen's finish was right there. Dude, Luis, that wasn't even the best knockout of the night. How insane is that? Like, that's really good. Joaquin Buckley, still give him $100,000 right now. And give him like 50 more thousand for next week's. Oh, they have a chain. Look at this. There's a nice little hands across America moment for everybody right now. I don't want to make fun of this too much because there might be extra reason for this. It could be very heartwarming if they tell us in a moment. Can you imagine knocking out Moraes out like that and not getting the post-fight bonus? I think they'll give him a performance of the night. He knew that it was broken based on the way that he trains. He recognizes when it happens. And Hardy is asking, is that something you planned? He said that was hard work from the quarantine when you couldn't go out. Ooh, so good. Good for him. And he says, he never let his head go flat, whatever that means. And then he just kept himself focused. He says the two guys that have arguments are TJ and Frankie, which, yeah. But he says he wants that belt. And then he says he wants the winner of Jan and Sterling. Not against that either. Fuck yeah. Okay, so they didn't explain the hands across America moment. I think maybe that's him. That's also a lot of being able to pick up two human beings, by the way. So congrats to him. I would assume that's probably him giving some shine to his coaches. I don't know that I've ever seen that before. It looked like they were performing a play at a local high school and they're all about to take their bow. Listen, I've seen curtain calls before. That's what it looked like. Let's do some housekeeping, kids. Give some love to our friends over at Nogi BJJ Gear. Use the promotional code GRAPPLINGHOUR15 to take 15% off of whatever you put in your cart. Also, go give some love to our friends over at Dodgy Collective. Amazing rash guards, amazing artwork. Go, go, go. Also this week, we will have a new episode of Grappling Hour. It will probably come out Tuesday. But if it doesn't come out Tuesday, it'll probably be out Wednesday. So, work with me, kids. It's going to be our second week of having recorded episodes. Again, just to remind you, they will not be live because I will be at work. So when I am at work, they air pre-recorded. But that's all the more opportunity for you to watch at your own viewing pleasure. And to everybody who's watched here tonight, thank you so much for tuning in. We love having you guys here. I guess we'll see you earlier next week. And then the week after, we'll figure out what we're doing. Because that's fucking 11 a.m. is too early for fights. And I know we're spoiled here in the United States because everybody else has to conform to our schedules. But God damn it, it's our sport. So, you deal with it. It's the UFC. They're based in America. So, I don't know. I really don't have a good argument other than I just don't want to ruin my day. I am probably going to give up training. Boom. AJ complaining about comments. Come on now. What is this? Never trust an elf commented. What is this? Somebody just chimed in on this. Oh, got it. Okay. Somebody downvoted fucking an interview because they didn't like my guest. Well, what are you supposed to do? The kid won a tournament. He has some shit to talk. The catch wrestling community is very weird, so I have nothing to say to you. But they didn't like Britton Rosenzweig. He's a nice kid. He might talk some shit, but he's a nice kid. I don't know what to tell you. That's a really fucking funny thing. I love the fact that YouTube told me, like, who the fuck is watching that now? That's how you can tell. Like, they go to the weird, seedy underbelly aspects of this. And I love that they watched it. But I hate the fact that they're like, don't trust that guy. I don't like him. Well, get a match with him. He's probably going to beat you up, man. He's really good at jiu-jitsu. Anyway, where was I? Grappling Hour this week. Yeah, I'm rapping. Hold on. Producer wife Kelly is telling me to wrap it up. She's essentially giving me the light, which everybody knows on Joe Rogan means talk for 2 more hours. So, reminders. Grappling Hour this week. Verbal Tap, new episode, also coming out this week. We will probably put that out on Tuesday or Wednesday. Then, on next Saturday, we return back here for another installment at Fight Island. And if you really want to see some fun comments, check out Early Late Night tomorrow as I live tweet my thoughts on what's happening in the NBA. It'll either be a very emotional day or a very emotional day. There's really no other outcome other than I'm going to be pretty something. That's going to do it for us here. My thanks to, again, all of you who have chimed in. Luigi, I hope you're doing well, bud. Hope to run into you sooner than later. And to all of you watching on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, thank you so much. Give us a like, subscription, and follow on all the major social media platforms. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch, and Twitter. And also a 5-star review for our Apple podcast. It does make a difference. And trust me, we never get sick of seeing those, especially when we have one commenter who says, I don't know that it's always an hour-long show. They call it the grappling hour. Sometimes it's not a grappling hour, and it's like, you can fuck off. But you did give me 5 stars, so I have no issue with that. Anyway, I'm done complaining. It's been a great day for grappling. My name is Rafa Esparza. We'll see you back on the mats. Eventually.